Hey there, I'm Daniel, also known as Real Estate Guts from New Jersey Real Estate Help. And today we'll discuss 5 steps you can take to move from New York to New Jersey. Historically, moving from New York to New Jersey to purchase a home is a fairly common occurrence. People who grew up or at some point moved to the Big Apple are often looking for more space, affordability, better school systems for their children, and many other factors when considering moving to the Garden State. It's a way for folks to be in very close proximity to the city and all that it has to offer, but still have the quality of life that they can't attain within the borough limits. With recent health crises, national and local economic pressures, among other factors, this traditional migration pattern has increased and is also a consideration for more New York City residents. And even though there's a lot of similarities and proximity dictates that certain elements of your lifestyle will remain intact, there are still some serious steps and considerations one must take when deciding to move from New York to New Jersey to purchase a home, including but not limited to being pre-approved for a mortgage, finding a reputable agent, researching neighborhoods, driving by homes that may fit your criteria, and letting go of preconceived notions, criticisms, and anxieties. So first, let's talk about the mortgage pre-approval. Obtaining a mortgage pre-approval is one of the very first steps you should take no matter where you're purchasing a home. This is the horse that drags the cart. As a buyer, especially first-time buyers, it's very tempting to jump into the romantic part of the research for a home, which is running around with a realtor, visiting homes, or going to open houses, seeing all that's out there for you, imagining yourself and your family inside a home. But none of this means anything if you aren't pre-approved for a mortgage. The pre-approval is going to let you know important factors like how much money the lender is willing to loan you, what your tax rate should be, how much you need to have for a down payment, whether you'll need to pay closing costs out of pocket, or if you can mortgage the closing costs, and other important aspects in terms of financing your home purchase. If you want to just look at homes and see what's out there, there's plenty of online resources and sites where you can see homes and even do virtual tours, all from the comfort of your home. But don't go and see homes without a pre-approval. Any bank or lender that you have a relationship with, reach out to them to let them know exactly what you're trying to accomplish, and they can guide you in the right direction. Also, find a reputable realtor, most of whom have relationships with lenders that they can introduce you to, usually with an email or a phone call. This takes us to point number 2, finding a reputable realtor. Finding a reputable realtor who's licensed to do business in the state of New Jersey is going to be another important step, and there are a number of ways to do so. If you know people from New Jersey or others who've moved there from New York, you can ask for referrals. You can also use sites like Zillow and look at the profile of realtors, see how long they've been in business, and how many transactions they've done, and how recent these transactions are. This is very important because there's a very low barrier to entry for someone to be a licensed realtor. Usually, a couple few $100s and 40 hours worth of class time, and poof, you're in real estate. But it doesn't mean the person knows anything about the market or is any good. Old school logic determined that you wanted a realtor who was from and familiar with the neighborhood that you wanted to move into. While this is still true to a certain extent in terms of a realtor desire to work with you if you're way out of their comfort zone, for the most part, the world's flat and we all have access to the same info whether we live in an area or not. So if you have to choose between a realtor who's experienced and someone who's local, go with experience every time, as long as they're willing to literally and figuratively go the extra mile for you. You also want to choose a realtor who has a good network and can patch you into other services you need to facilitate the home purchasing process, like a mortgage rep, home inspectors, appraisers, attorneys, insurance brokers, and other contractors. Next, you want to research the neighborhoods. There's no lack of resources out there that will give you all the data you need to know about a given area. A lot of New Yorkers are fearful of moving to New Jersey and will often say things like, I don't know New Jersey like that, or I don't know anyone out there. The easiest way to solve this is by doing your research. You can take your pre-approval and work backwards. Start with a broad search to catch all the homes, whether they're currently for sale or not, that are in your price range and tax range, and have the number of bedrooms and bathrooms you may be looking for. You'll begin to see patterns of the areas and stats where these homes are, and then research the areas one by one based on other criteria important to you. An example, school systems, neighborhood amenities, distance to work, houses of worship. Taking these steps, you're guaranteed to hone in on 1 to 3 areas, probably all within close proximity to one another, that you like to live in. Any specific info that you want or need to know about any area is readily available to you. No need to wait on anyone to give you information. Be proactive. Next, you can drive by the homes you like. This is another best practice when moving from New York to New Jersey. Once you begin pinpointing areas and a home that you like, hop in the car and drive by them. This is a great way to learn the area and also do a deeper dive than what you're going to see in the photos of the homes for sale you'll find online or that are sent to you by your realtor. What surrounds the home? Other homes, a factory, train tracks? Is it strictly a single family home area, multifamily, or a mix of both? How far are specific amenities that you need from the home you may ultimately live in? All of these questions and more can be answered by simply driving by the home and through the neighborhood. This is something you can do on your own, at your own convenience, and you don't have to wait for your realtor to make an appointment for you, which takes a lot of time and coordination. Once the property passes your drive-by test, then you know it's worth time to make an appointment to see the inside of the home. And finally, and maybe one of the hardest things for people to do, is to let go. Maybe you moved to the city out of high school or college, and it was your dream to live a New York City lifestyle, or maybe you're a native who knows nothing but New York City and always took immense pride in living there. Now, for various reasons, you're preparing to leave and it's hard to let go. But that's the greater part about this move. If you follow the steps we've discussed and also trust your own instincts, you'll be able to make this move and keep intact the parts of the city experience that you love. So if you want to get more tips on moving from New York to New Jersey, click the link in our bio or this post, and remember, subscribe to our YouTube and smash that bell to receive notifications when we post new content. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at New Jersey Real Estate Help, or follow the New Jersey Real Estate Help page on Facebook. And you can always follow me, Daniel Gutsmore, at Real Estate Guts with a Z on IG or Twitter. And always remember, whether buying, selling, investing, or developing, we're here to help.